This is your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. Movement in a tree stand can get you picked off by deer. They have really good eyesight in the looking up and movement in your tree stand. However, there's a certain amount of movement a hunter must produce in order to spot deer. The last several hunts I've been on, now I'm not moving around like this, but you can move and look around, and because of this, I was able to pick out three different deer in three different hunts that were coming and moving in a direction in which I had not anticipated deer to travel in that particular area. I had figured, okay, here's a travel route, here's a travel route here. They were coming in different areas. So by maneuvering around your head and keeping your head on a swivel and paying attention and not have your head in a phone or reading a book, you're able to pick these off. Now, I was not able to be fortunate enough to harvest any of those three, but I was able to have visualization on them and understand travel routes in which I did not know existed in those particular stands. This has been your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. This is your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. You've been on social media, as you are now. We have all seen individuals in the hunting world ragging on other hunters in the hunting world. I've got two main examples. One, well, crossbows. If you're a crossbow hunter, you're not a real hunter. A real hunter is a longbow hunter or a recurve or a compound. Crossbows shouldn't be allowed. Only handicapped people used to be able to shoot crossbow. Now everybody can. That's not a real hunter. The other one, you're not a real hunter if you're setting in a deer blind with a heater or a ground blind, or you're in an elevated box and you've got a heater in there and windows or a couch or a lounge chair. That's not a real hunter. You're just making the sport look bad. What's making the sport look bad are individuals like that who are complaining about people in the industry. We're not helping the situation by feeding into them, by throwing our comment in. It's best to just move along. If we want the sport of hunting and spending time in God's great outdoors to continue for further generations, for our children, our grandkids, our nieces, our nephews, our friends, we need to allow the accessibility in whatever means that they find necessary in order to get them in the woods. Whether that is in a pop-up ground blind with a heater, or a tower blind with a couch and some lounge chairs, or a crossbow because they don't feel comfortable standing in a tree stand and pulling a compound bow back. This is all means and methods in order to get people in the woods and enjoy the outdoors, whether harvesting an animal or not. Be positive, allow people to hunt the way they feel comfortable hunting, and stop ragging on each other in the hunting community, because that doesn't help anybody and it makes everybody look bad from the outside looking in. This has been your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. This is your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. If you're not seeing deer on your trail camera through your trail camera lens, your cellular trail camera, in the area which you know that there are deer, it may be the placement of your camera. Let's take a little math lesson here. For round numbers, if you put your trail camera out, it can see about 20 feet wide by, let's say, 80 feet in length, just for a round number. That's 1,600 square feet that it's seeing. An acre is 43,500 and some odd square feet. Or for my 35 acres of woods out there, that's 1.5 million plus square feet of real estate. So that camera is only picking up a small, very tiny percentage of such area. I have cameras next to each tree stand. And where I had the camera at last year, underneath the tree I hunted this morning, it would not be picking up a tenth of the deer that the camera currently is picking up, because I have it 20 feet, or I have 20 yards to my right, overlooking a natural licking branch. I have deer coming in when I'm not there on camera multiple times throughout the week. But if I would have had it where I have had it, I wouldn't be seeing almost no deer. So moving the camera around in the general area that you're at, the deer may be traveling in different areas that you are not aware of. This has been your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. This is your Northwoods hunting tip of the week. If you hunt in a manufactured climbing stand, strap-on stand, ladder stand, there are components on those pieces of equipment that can make noise. Pop, squeak, rattle. If it's rattling, you tighten the bolts up, but if it's a squeak, it's hard to fix that in the stand while you're trying to hunt. I had that happen to me the other day. I did happen to have this in the bag, sprayed this as an aerosol dough and estrus spray. Figured there was some oil in it somewhat, and it produced a quietness in the stand that would not have occurred if I didn't have that. So from now on, this is an old bottle, but I'm going to start carrying a little bottle of oil. This would be recommended to you as well. It doesn't take up too much space. If you got a squeak in your seat or some portion of the tree stand, a little oil here, and it goes away. You don't have to try to figure out how not to move in that direction. It may save your hunt. This has been your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. This is your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. It doesn't take very much time into the deer season before we see social media posts of terrible experiences at local butcher shops when people have taken their harvest in order to get processed. Now, whether you believe those stores or even half of that information, it's still a terrible experience after the effort and energy and money that you've put in to get that deer on the ground. One thing that you can work towards in order to eliminate most of that possibility of bad experience is learn how to butcher your deer out yourself. I never butchered out a deer until I found a $3 DVD at Walmart back in the early 2000s that showed very simplistically how to butcher out skin and process each cuts of meat on the deer. Now, you can find multiple videos online of great details and knowing which cut is what and how to go about processing them. Deer processing plants or butcher shops do allow you to bring in the processed meat if you're wanting to make it into hamburger, summer sausage, brats, breakfast sausages, etc. So knowing how to butcher out your own deer can save you hundreds of dollars a deer, and also the headache of dealing with some people at some places that shouldn't be employed there. This has been your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. This is your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. If you've got a hat that has these, that you can roll it down and have a little brim here, what you can do on your cold hunts, whether you're in a tree stand or your unheated deer blind, is you can take hot hands, whatever size, whatever brand, get them nice and warm, and you can put them over or wherever you want around that hat. That's going to keep my ears very, very warm. And you can take the hot hands and put it other places, but that's a good way to keep your ears warm and more comfortable while you're hunting in these cold late season sets. This has been your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. This is your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. This is my wife's blind. She uses for bow hunting as well as she'll use for gun hunting. At some point during the season, it'll be too cold for her and she will call the season done. I will come in here and utilize this deer blind until the season is completed for me or I'm tagged out. One of the things that I'm doing to prevent me having to take this down when it's middle of December and there's a foot of snow on the ground and it's 9 degrees, that type of situation, is I came in here and I cut a support beam 1 inch longer than what it needs to be and then cross cut it up here with a hand chainsaw to seed the nut inside of the post there to add stability to the blind. So in the off season, when we get a foot of snow or a ½ inch of ice, it doesn't collapse the top in and then the sides collapse in and damage the blind itself. I don't want to have to drag this back when it's super cold. If this is something in which you can do on your own property, leave a blind up, much better. Now, some of the things on the table will be brought back. The heater will be left here, that type of thing. But I don't have to take it down or fear of it being damaged. I will go ahead and remove that center post and lean it against a tree here so I can find it when that time comes to reinstall it. But this will support the blind and allow me not to have to take it down in the dead of winter after the season's over. This has been your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. This is your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. Even in later portions of the season, a grunt call is usable all season long. Deers communicate and grunt year-round. But in the late season, when it is 10 or 12 or 14 or 20 degrees sub-freezing, this grunt call can freeze up to get the moisture from your breath in the reed, and it will be inoperable. One of the things in which you can do to slow that down or prevent that altogether is if you're wearing a mask, like this is a ski mask, blow through the mask when you're making the grunt call. That way, a lot of the moisture will be captured in the fabric and not in your call. If you have a thinner material, you can do that as well. If you don't want to do that because you're concerned that that moisture will build up on the inside and then get cold and get your mouth cold, you can just take a handkerchief with you or a cloth, and that will capture and hold a lot of the moisture in the fabric and not in your grunt call, so you can use it even when it's very cold outside. This has been your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. This is your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. Getting to your stand and even exiting your stand as quiet as possible. It's a good practice to exercise, as it allows you to be as stealthy as possible getting into the woods and into your stand. One thing in which you can utilize after the leaves have fallen is come in with either a rake or a leaf blower, and the first 100 yards from the stand going to a trail, if possible, utilize that leaf blower or that rake and clean out a walking path to make it as quiet as possible. It is amazing how loud leaves are when a hunter is walking to the stand or even exiting the stand. By doing this, you may be able to sneak in and spook less deer that could be in the area and increase the odds of having a successful hunt. This is only really works well in areas where either the leaves have completely fell, or you're in an area such as my property where I do have some aspen, birch, maple, but the predominant amount of trees is pine trees, so there's not massive amounts of leaves in the area. I can easily move them with a leaf blower and then enter and exit on a much quieter basis. This has been your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. This is your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week. On those late season deer hunts, if you're not prepared correctly, you may not even want to go out, or you're miserable sitting in the stand or the deer blind. Here's 3 essential items that I take with me in order to prolong my set and make my hunt more enjoyable, even if it's 18, 19, 20 degrees or colder. One is a hand muff. Not all hand muffs are created equal. You put your hand warmer in there, you put your gloves on. This is a very quiet hand muff. If you're going to buy a hand muff, go in person, feel it, touch it. You can get them online like I did a couple of years ago, but it's that plasticky, I wasn't aware of it, that plastically cloth that every time you touch it, zipper finally disintegrated and it went in the trash. Got this one, paid twice as much, but well worth it. To go inside this is hot hands. These are a staple at my camp as much as good camp food is. These can go inside your boots, prolong your hunt, keep your toes warm, even with multiple layers of socks. They work phenomenal. This can go in the muff, and this can attach to the back of your lower back if need be, or even your neck. You can get a lot of these. Don't skimp on them, but it's worth the money. Yeah, they're only a one-time use, but especially late in the season, like January, February, that type of thing, you can get a whole bunch of these for a fraction of the price. Like this here, $3.50 was $7.50. Got it on sale. Also, you can request these for holiday gifts. And finally, one of the things, a hot beverage, tea, hot chocolate, coffee, whatever it is, makes and a nice mug to drink it out of, makes your hunt so much more enjoyable. So there's 3 tips there that can get you out in the woods if you don't want to go on a cold late season hunt, or make yours much more enjoyable. This has been your Northwoods Hunting Tip of the Week.